initially at the town hall, there was a question of the exact acreage, and so maybe you can kind of go over what that is in a moment of forested land that would need to be cleared. We did get a DEP file number for this project. Typically, projects of this nature are also reviewed by the town's engineer to determine if the project meets the required stormwater standards. So I would recommend that this be done prior to the commission making any decisions on this particular project. Like with many of the other solar projects, this would also be fenced in as part of the requirements for the solar array. So at this point in time, I would recommend that we continue the hearing so that the process of having the town engineer review this can happen. And I'll let the applicant present the additional information.
Christopher?
Thank you. Does it work for the commission if I stand and project, or do I need to be at the microphone for recording?
You need to be on the microphone.
Okay, well, I'll actually, you want to see?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I almost have nothing to add. Dave stole all my thunder with all those great facts about the project, but let me just lay out a little bit more for you. This aerial is showing basically the existing conditions on the site. As you can see, this is oriented about 90 degrees, so north is to the right of this photograph. So as you can see, basically most of the northern half of the site is already cleared. There's a former sand operation there. The southern portion of the site, sort of the head of the golf club, as it were, and the shape of the site, as you can see, is still wooded, and that's the area where a lot of the panels would go. But we would have panels going basically up the length of the site, and we'll show that in just a minute. As Dave mentioned, it's about a 22-acre site in total. The array would take up about 12 acres of the site, given the spacing requirements around the end, access road, stormwater, basins, and other associated infrastructure. So the panels would take up about 12 acres of the site. And the access is off Charge Pond Road, as Dave mentioned, which is sort of up at the top of this photograph. There's an access road that basically comes in and hits about the center of the site. The access road through the site would go in both directions from there. There's a turnaround at the northern end of the site and at the southern end of the site for access for fire trucks and the ability for them to turn around. So the project.
Christopher, can you do me a favor? Can I get that first slide brought up here?
Sure.
So the people in the audience can sort of get an idea of where this is. I don't know an easy way to. Right here.
Okay. Thanks for our presentation. So this graphic is showing the extent of the project. The arrays are shown here, stretching up and down the site. This is our access road, again, that would go up the northern part of the site and down around, basically looping around the southern part of the site. And again, we have those turnarounds here. The arrays would consist of panels, and then there's also a small concrete pad for battery storage. Battery storage would be part of this site. There would be a small array of batteries that would store power from the array and release it back into the grid when the array is not actively capturing the sun. And then down toward the southern end of the parcel, you can see again, these are the two stormwater basins that would be constructed to capture stormwater. There's not a lot of stormwater effort that's required on this site. The infiltration was fairly good, and the change in land use was not that great because a large portion of the site was already previously cleared. So we have that taken care of. And then in terms of impacts in jurisdictional areas for the commission, we have a small amount of impact a little under, about 4,700 square feet of impact within the outer edge of this riverfront area from the stream. I should mention, let me back up for a second. I should mention the wetland areas on the site. So we have one small isolated wetland that is way up in the northeast corner of the site. Again, it's small enough. Would not qualify as ILSF under the Wetlands Protection Act, but it would be obviously jurisdictional under the bylaw. So we have that noted here. And then the main wetland area is a stream that flows down on the neighboring site to the east. And the riverfront area from that stream extends, you can see a portion of it extends onto the site here. There's also a little bit of buffer zone that extends onto the site down in the southeast corner. This orange line represents the 50-foot no disturb zone from those wetland resource area boundaries. This blue line represents the 100-foot buffer zone, and then this purple line is the 200-foot riverfront area from the stream. The project is not proposing any work within the 50-foot no disturb zone, and really very little incursion actually into the buffer zone in any area. There is one small corner you can see up in the northeast where there'd be a portion of the road that would be going in that section. And again, this is what I sort of jumped the gun to get into this part. There's some, a small amount of clearing that would be required to take the tree line back to the edge of the property line within that buffer zone, and that's mainly for shading, for shading relief for the panels. But there's really no other real work that's going on within the buffer zone in an area that's not already disturbed. This road is basically going to be on the site of an existing dirt path that's there already, basically the eastern side of the site. And so you can see down in the southeast corner, there's no incursion into the buffer zone or the riverfront area down there. So that's an overview of the project.